It Gets Real with Karina. Each week, Karina will discuss serious topics and is not shy to tell you how it is. On her show, she covers day-to-day situations and provides her opinion along with feedback from her listeners.
Hello, you're listening to It Gets Real with Karina, and this is your girl, Karina. I am so excited to be back, you guys. I haven't recorded since November, and I have a very good explanation for that. I know It Gets Real. So, I got to keep it 100 with y'all. I can't be lying to my listeners. I can't keep you guys in suspense. So I've been going through a great deal, but actually, while I may think it's a great deal, it has been just learning and relearning and growing into the person that I truly, truly, truly am and supposed to be. If you guys have listened to previous episodes, I put my ex on my episode. Yeah, I said ex. I put my ex on a couple of my episodes, and we were naming those pop-up episodes TNC The Vision. And as you would have listened, if you did, and if you didn't, you can go back, because I did leave those episodes up because I don't see a reason to delete them, because I have to keep it 100, keep it real, and show my authentic self and how things truly are. So I am no longer with Ty, and I broke it off with him in October because Ty put his hands on me twice. The first time he put his hands on me, it was because I went into his phone and seen that he was texting his ex, and he didn't like me checking him on that, I guess. So he proceeded to choke me and throw me on the ground. And that happened a second time as well. After the second time, I said, I am not staying somewhere where someone cannot keep their hands to themselves. And no, I am not going to make him the villain in my story, but I do have to be authentic and tell the truth as to why we are no longer together. And I would like to tell all of my women that it is not okay to stay in a relationship where someone puts their hands on you, or if they're disrespecting you emotionally or physically. It is not okay. Domestic violence is not okay. You will find love somewhere, but you're not going to find love staying in a situation that doesn't serve you in that way. So I just wanted to clear the air for those who may be wondering what's going on, what happened, and whatnot. I wanted to put that out there. So today's topic is called When Your Impact Outlasts Your Presence. And I know a lot of people come into your life, and sometimes they leave an impact and sometimes they don't. I'm thankful to say that when I come into someone's life, I indeed always leave a positive impact. Things may not always be great, but of course, my presence brings amazing things. I am very positive, and if I cannot radiate in a positive energy, if I cannot be that positive person, more than likely that situation is not for me. But for the most part, when I come into people's lives, friendships, family ships, spouses, they leave. If they do leave, they leave with more than what they came with. And more than likely, it's greatness. And they leave with vision. A vision to be better. A vision to create increase in their lives. A vision to want more than they ever thought they could have. And that is the greatest thing of all. I never want you guys to think that your impact is ever wasted. Even if that person is no longer a part of the story. Giving without losing yourself is so very important. A lot of us, we give, whether it be financially, mentally, physically, we're always giving. And a lot of times that energy and that giving is not reciprocated. And that's not okay. We cannot pour from an empty cup. You have to make sure that your cup is overflowing before you decide to pour into someone else's cup. I've learned during my journey that I can't continue to give. I can't give what I do not have. I am so used to giving and giving and giving. Even when I had nothing, y'all, I gave. And I want you guys to know that that is not okay. Boundaries have to be set. And a lot of times when you create boundaries, people do not like it. And it requires that person not to like you anymore. But that's okay. Because guess what? God will only allow people to stay in your life when they are for you. If people begin to fall by the wayside, guess what? They were never for you. And the trash needed to be taken out. Never feel upset that people are leaving. They are leaving for the right reasons. And the people who are staying because they're there for the right reasons. So I want you to recognize who deserves your energy. Not everyone is meant to receive your time and effort. I want you guys to learn to discern who genuinely values what you bring. Figure out who really, truly, truly, truly appreciates what you have to offer, appreciates what you have to give, and not only appreciates it, but reciprocates it. When it comes to relationships, friendships, situationships, anything, we should be giving and taking. Giving and taking. I want it to be a relationship where if I come into your life, I can receive just as much as you will be receiving. I don't like to always be the giver. But even when I am the giver, I don't have a problem with giving because I know how good God is in my life. I know how worthy He is. I know that God is going to bless me even when people don't give back after I give. Because in most cases, I don't give to receive back. The receiving end is a plus. It's like the icing on the cake. So never expect someone to give back. Because if you're only giving just to receive back, then you don't need to be giving. It has to be out the kindness of your heart. But also, don't continuously give to the same person if they're not giving back. Because a lot of people like to use. And I don't think it's okay for you to be the punching bag. I don't think it's okay for you to always be on the giving side and not on the receiving end. Because you deserve more. And setting boundaries on giving is great. Because you can't pour. You just can't continue to pour into someone that isn't pouring into you. Letting go of expectations when you help someone. I just want you guys to do it because it aligns with who you are. Not because you expect loyalty or gratitude in return. I want you to know that what's for you is going to be for you. It will not pass you by. Your greatness will not pass you by. Your blessings will not pass you by. Everything that God has for you will not pass you by. Granted, you might go through the storm. You might run into some things and people that's going to make you be like, what? What is going on? Are you crazy? But that is for a reason. I want you guys to know that we all go through things for a reason. I went through my last relationship for a reason. I had to learn from what I went through. Whatever that was, I had to learn from it. And I don't want you to be like, oh, Karina, you had to get choked and pushed down for a reason. No, I'm not saying that. But I learned to create a boundary. I learned to listen to the red flags early on in a relationship. I learned not to settle. I can no longer settle and be with somebody who is not on the same wavelength as me. I want you guys not to settle. Don't think that you can't get someone else because of what you're going through at the moment. Don't ever think that you don't deserve greater. You are greater. You are that deal. So do not ever lower your standards. Do not ever lower your standards to meet someone where they are. Do not conform to the potential of someone. I don't want you living and loving someone because of their potential. No, I want you to love them because of what they have now, of the now that they have, of the personality that they have, of what they can bring to the table. And I'm not saying using people, no. I'm saying that, and I'm not just saying financially, but mentally, can you bring anything to the table? Can you help me grow? Are you going to bring a great impact to my kids? Are you going to be a great example? Are you going to pour into me, not out of me? And this goes to for friends, family, co-workers, jobs, anything. If it's not pouring into you, it is pouring out of you. And you don't want that. You don't want to be drained. You don't want to be sucked out of the greatness that you possess. And you don't want to be feeling like you're nothing. You're nobody. And you don't bring anything to the table because people, things, and places can put you in a box. And guess what? You're going to feel like you're stuck. You're going to feel like you've been married for 50 years. You're going to feel like your greatness has disappeared. You're going to feel like you're not gifted anymore. You're going to feel like, okay, this is it. It stops here. There's no more reaching for the stars. And we don't want you to go to that. We don't want you to feel like that. And we don't want you to be that. Y'all, I haven't did a podcast since November. I don't care what I was going through. I should have been recording. I should have been on here motivating. I should have been on here encouraging. It doesn't take that long to figure things out. It doesn't take that long to be down in the dumps. And my situation may not be your situation, but this might be something that can encourage you to get out of the dumps. Whatever it is that you're currently going through, get out of the dumps. No, we're no longer having any pity parties. We're no longer staying stuck. We're no longer being sad, mad, and upset about mistakes and decisions that we've made in our past. I want you to know your impact will always outlast your presence. So when you're no longer here, when you're no longer around, what you have put out into the world, what you have taught others, your presence, your testimonies, all of that is still going to be here encouraging the next. This is why I do what I do. This is why I encourage. This is why I motivate. This is why I try to be positive. I try to walk around with high energy. I try to be the best that I can be. It's not always easy. Hence, I haven't recorded since November. But I've come to realize and I've come to learn that I cannot stop and allow time to pass because I have a calling on my life. And I know that you do too. And whatever that may be, you have a calling on your life and you cannot allow for it to pass. You cannot allow a situation to hold you back, to have you captive, to have you stuck. I need you to break free from the chains that you have put on yourself. We can't sit back and blame everybody else for this or for that, or we can't do tit for tat. We have to elevate. We have to grow. This happened, yes. All right, on to the next. I don't know who I'm talking to, and I don't know who needs to hear this, but I want y'all to know that you have to break free from the strongholds that are holding you back. Break free from the naysayers, the haters, the people that don't want you to grow. It's time to break free because your impact outlasts your presence. And you are an impact all by yourself. What you've been through is your story. It's your testimony. They can laugh, they can gossip, they can say this and they can say that. But what you've been through in your past is your story. And it's going to help somebody else avoid that same story. Avoid that same nightmare. Avoid that same person posing as a friend, posing as a man, a woman who loves you. I want y'all to let go of doubt, let go of fear, let go of the bounds of not being able to do this or that because you're not at this or that level. You're at the level that God wants you to be at. You're at the level that God says you need to be at. Everything in life happens for a reason. And I'm going to always say this. And if you listen to my podcast, you hear me say this. Everything happens for a reason. I truly believe in divine order. And although some of the things that we go through are not pretty, and sometimes we wish we would have never went through them. We wish we would have never met certain people. We wish we would have never worked at certain places or made certain decisions, but that would have messed up your identity because everything you've been through creates your character as a person. Yes, it's a part of your character. It is a part of who you are. It's a part of your growing, your elevating, your flourishing. And me living in my truth is a part of me becoming free. It's a part of the journey. It's a part of the growth. It is a part of me that is going to allow my girls, my daughters, to not have to go through certain things because I went through them. And I am going to guide them through. And the same for you and your kids, whoever is listening, if you have kids or your future kids, they won't have to go through what you went through because you're going to be that stepping stool that guides them down another pathway that leads them to greatness. So celebrate your impact. Instead of feeling drained, shift your mindset to being proud of the seeds you've planted, even if you don't get to enjoy the harvest. At the end of the day, I know I add value wherever I go. Whether they acknowledge it or not, my impact speaks for itself. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Talk to you soon.